What's up? Yeah. I just been making some moves. 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 I just been making some moves.
What's up, everybody? Maul Deep again, introducing y'all to another week of the Go Zone. I'm here today with the talented artist Kiel out of Starkville, Mississippi. Like I always do, I'm gonna give him an opportunity to speak his mind, say what he got to say. You got it.
Like you said, my name is Dawkins. I'm originally from Saginaw, Michigan. I moved to Flowood in 2000, and I'm currently a senior at Mississippi State now. Fine art major, concentration in painting, and currently going through thesis. So pretty excited right now, getting a chance to work in my own studio space, and that's actually a graduate opportunity that they don't really offer it to undergrad. So it's a big deal for me. So I'm pretty excited to be able to show off, for my last year in school.
Good. So how long you been doing art?
I actually started doing art probably around the age 5 or 6. My mom owned her own nail shop. And so I would come in, I just had to sit there, little kid in the nail shop.
I already know.
It ain't much fun. So she bought me a couple books like Sonic the Hedgehog, and I actually began tracing Sonic. That's the first thing I remember doing, tracing Sonic the Hedgehog. And I got an older cousin. He's pretty good with drawing, and so he showed me a couple things, but I really didn't take it serious until maybe my senior year in high school. And it was to the point it was time for me to go to college, and I'm like, damn, I got to figure out what I'm gonna major in, And I started looking at stuff I was good at, I was like, I've always been a drawer, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough money, And I started thinking about architecture, and I came in as an architecture major, and I changed that immediately, and I was like, I got to stick to what I know, I'm more intrigued by the fine art side of it, designing is cool, but actually getting in there, it's completely different.
You ever went through that phase where you was like, oh man, this ain't really what I want to do, this ain't really working out for me, that type of thing?
Not really. That's a good question. Not really. I don't think I've ever been discouraged with art. I don't want to say people have been gassing me up, but I guess it's just the feedback that I always got back from my art. It just always motivated me to get better and get better and get better. And I'm the type of person, I do art to pull emotion from people. I do certain techniques, to kind of make you wonder, like, why he do that? How was that technique done? So I guess, the feedback was always motivation, and I've never really gotten negative feedback to the point where, I just kind of shut myself down, like, man, I don't really think this is gonna work. So, I guess it's really everybody around me, just kind of motivated me, just, keep going. I see you getting better, and, I actually felt myself getting better. I was able to see better, like they say, everybody can draw, not everybody can see.
Exactly.
So, I began to see better, and I actually began to see my work progress. So, it was just really motivation, just to keep going, just to keep at it.
That's what. So it ain't really no big frustrations as far as like you doing art and with like nothing. You feel like nothing is holding you back.
I won't say that now. I won't say that. I mean, it does get challenging, at some points. I get to certain pieces, I get kind of frustrated, and I'm like, I'm kind of done with this piece, and I let this piece sit for maybe a year before I go back and touch it, because I just really got to clear my mind from it. I get to a certain point, everything is not gonna work how you want it to work.
You're right.
And so, I always, sometimes, like I said, I get to a point where I just got to really push it to the side. So I work on maybe 4 or 5, 6 pieces at one time, just to kind of keep my mind clear, and keep my technique pretty crisp, because once you start painting for so long, your mind will get kind of clouded. You begin to start making bad decisions. So you got to really, just kind of give yourself a break so it doesn't get too overwhelming for you.
So what is the process like when you create art?
It depends. It really depends. I'm big on technique. So I actually think about my technique before I even think about my subject matter. Whether I'm using watercolor or oil paint or acrylic, I typically try to take a different approach, every time. So I mean, I would say from the beginning, like I said, I would find my technique. Then I would find subject matters to actually make that technique that I'm trying to get across work.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the problem I'm running into now. The more advanced I get, it's kind of harder for me to actually take my own reference photos or find my own reference photos. Because, like I said, a lot of stuff you really gotta find on your own, make on your own.
You don't think you're too hard on yourself, do it?
Can't be easy on myself.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know. If I can't be hard on myself, I don't know how I'm gonna make it.
That's true.
Like, I don't know. I hear that. I just had a talk with one of my mentors on campus, and she was telling me, maybe you really need to kind of free up a little bit more of your times. I had 2 jobs and painting and full time work, so but it's kind of hard. I ain't used to having a lot of free time. I ain't used to just stuff really being easy for me, or the process being easy.
Yeah.
So, I just kind of go with the flow. And, I kind of, I don't want to say I make stuff difficult for myself, but I push myself. Yeah, I really push myself.
So do you feel like it's in a competition as far as art's concerned, on campus or in Starkville, or just in general?
Oh yeah, it's always competition. But the thing is, with the art world, well, I wouldn't even call it art world. I'm gonna call it art villages. I've heard that term.
Yeah.
It's so many people within different art villages that are doing completely different things.
Yeah.
So it's plenty of competition out there, but it's everything from concept art, and you got people within the concept art world that's doing. It can be like anything,
Yeah, because basically there's like so many things you can branch out to with art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can do concept arts in video games, or you can move over to illustrations for books, or you can do concepts for graphic design art. There's so many different people who specialize in their area until the competition's out there, but it's not as hard as a more common niche, I would say, because there's so many different things you can do, like you said, within the art field, until you're not really stepping on the same people's toes in your same city. Because some people do art and science together, and that's pretty big right now. And me, I don't touch art and science at all. So that same painter can be in my same city, but we are working with completely different people. All the time we cater to a completely different market. So it's competition, but it's ways to avoid really competition.
And there's always room to collaborate.
There's always room to collaborate.
Like you explained to me earlier on this piece.
Right. Yeah. This is a piece. Me and a guy, Vernon McCoy, we went to high school together, and this is a piece of Booby Dixon, he's a former graduate of Mississippi State, against the UAB actually. And yeah, this is pretty cool. We got the opportunity to do this at the Starkville Art Walk, and it pretty much was just all the artists, local artists, supposed to bring a lot of work to pretty much display, bring a couple prints to sell. But during this time, me or him didn't have a lot of material to go ahead and bring and prints to bring. So we just came out with the idea that we're gonna do live painting. We just gonna pretty much bring a canvas and just like show our ability in front of everybody. We actually ended up making a front page of the newspaper off this piece. So that was pretty big for us to kind of be unprepared, but yet still to find a way to be relevant. Yeah, exactly. And so it was pretty different working with somebody else. But I definitely would do it again. We actually need to finish this piece. But yeah, like I said, it was pretty cool, and it gives you the opportunity to see other people's style and to learn from other people, because many artists out there, they're actually willing to tell you their secrets, tell you about their techniques, how did they get that certain effect.
True.
And so, like you said, it's good to go ahead and branch out with other people and collaborate and, learn new ideas and network.
Who are some people you inspired by?
A lot of musicians, to be honest.
How you correlate those two?
Based on the stories that they tell.
Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts going through my head. And so, I can't listen to any music that don't really tell a story. I like, different artists like J. Cole, like I said, Lil Boosie we were talking about earlier. That's one of my favorite artists. He's a street artist, but he really tells a story.
Exactly.
And you can relate to a lot of different stories, and it puts you in a lot of different scenarios. It makes you question a lot of different things. And, questions just bring on more questions and more questions and more questions. and you just pretty much expressing in your art. And then you draw emotion from other people. When people look at your art, the intention behind that artwork is not always gonna be clear. You not always gonna know exactly why they did that. Yeah. So it's just really the artist expressing itself, and then the viewer kind of trying to interpret what the artist said. So like I said, I get a lot of my inspiration from music, and I see different things, I hear different things, and it just makes me get in the zone. And like I said, I try to draw a reaction from my viewers.
So if you can work with any artist, like actual artist or musical artist, that you think you can work with to get the best possible outcome for your art, who would it be?
That's a good question. Right now, one of my favorite artists, Brent Funderburker, he's actually a professor at Mississippi State. He actually introduced me to watercolor, and that's probably my favorite medium to use. And his style is crazy. Just his contrast, and he uses certain words like no time. He makes you really understand and see art in a different way. I think it may be his analogies and the way he explains art. It makes you want to paint because you just learned something from him. You just learn how to see something different that can really impact your art a whole lot. And so I really like to work beside him for a long period of time, just to see his techniques and what goes through, because he's a pretty animated guy. So I like to see what goes through his head, and like his technique pretty much. So yeah, that would be pretty cool to work beside him.
So what's the big picture for Kia Arts and that type of thing? What do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
In 5 years, that's a good question. I don't know. I won't limit myself. I really don't want to limit myself.
That's right.
Cause the sky's the limit right now. How I feel. Cause I've been trying to network myself. I've been trying to get out here, get my artwork out here, and for me to say where I would be in 5 years probably would be an understatement compared to where I really want to be. Cause I don't know. If I could tell you, I don't think I really would be far in 5 years. So hopefully, anything that I can say would be an understatement, to be honest. That probably really don't answer your question, but
yeah, but it's enough of an answer to know.
Right.
So basically, this question, I'm just gonna give you an opportunity to speak your mind. Like if you want to give advice to people that's in your situation, anything like that, you can just go ahead forward.
Okay. Well, I guess I would say I've really been through a lot early in college. I think college really pushed my art career. It's a lot of self-taught artists out there, which I think is a hard approach to take. But I wouldn't knock anybody's approach. But I took the college route, and my first couple years were pretty bad. They were real bad actually. And I went through my struggles, and I dropped out of school for a while, and I remember crying. I was just to the point where like I was just working. I was just in Starkville, and I'm not even from Starkville. I was in Starkville. I'm like, man,
feeling trapped probably.
That's exactly how I felt. You feel less of a man when you can't do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it.
Exactly.
And so, I got to the point where I just prayed, and I was like, God, if you let me get back in school, I swear, like, I'm gonna make a name for myself. And I made that promise, like, then. And, it wasn't that sweet, I still went through a lot of stuff, but it really paid off in the end because I learned a lot. I went through a lot of mistakes, and I talked to eventually I started talking to people. I think that was one mistake too I didn't take. I didn't talk to enough people. I didn't ask for enough advice, because when I first went to college, during that time, I didn't know many people who had actually been through college successfully. 4 years, graduated. So it was kind of hard to really ask people what to expect from college. And so, you know, when people did tell me that it was pretty much the same cliche answer. You're gonna be broke. You're gonna be this. You know,
the generic.
Yeah. I mean, but that wasn't really telling me how to get through school. You was telling me the struggles that I should expect.
Yeah.
But you wasn't really telling me how to overcome them struggles. So I think that was a big deal once I really started talking to people, because I'm the type of person, like, I kept my problems like in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can walk around and be straight, you know, and not know.
And come home and be broke down.
Yeah, and then I got $20,000 problems in my back pocket, you know. But eventually I started, you know, trying to talk to people and actually asking for help, you know. And people really willing to help you if they see you trying to help yourself.
Yeah.
And that was the thing too. I was just trying to be so egotistic and do everything on my own until the point where you really can't do everything on your own. You need people.
Well, I swear you preach it to the choir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you need people. And so, you know, it was just a transition that I had to go through. I hit rock bottom a couple times, you know, to the point where I was just like, man, forget all this. Like, I was just ready to leave Mississippi and just move, you know, just get away from everything.
I already know.
It was just, like you said, I just felt trapped. You know, I just felt less of a man because I couldn't move when I wanted to move. I couldn't go out when I wanted to go out. You know, I couldn't do it. I wasn't in school no more. I'm like, man, really, I'm just in Starkville, just like I live in Starkville. I don't, you know. It's like, that's why I was like, man, forget this. I'm about to get me a job, get back in school. And like, ever since then, you know, it's been straight grind. You know, it's been straight grind. You know, once you see how low you really can get, and you know it can get lower, you ain't really trying to go back there.
I already
You
know.
ain't really trying to go back
know.
there. And so I think that's really been, you know, a lot of my motivation, you know, not trying to fall back off, you know, just trying to stay on top. And start, like I said, talking to people, and they start giving me advice in the art shows, get your name out there, you know, stuff like that. And I actually ended up entering the collegiate show my first time in 2013. And I'm actually the only person in the state to ever win 2 awards in the collegiate show. And that's pretty much every school in the state of Mississippi. They have the art students enter, you know, work into the arts, and they get over 1,000, 2,000 submissions, and they narrow them down to about 300 to maybe 500 works. And my 3 that I put in, all 3 of them got accepted. You know, then I ran into the problem of having to get them framed. And so, you know, that was a pretty penny for 3, you know, 3 pieces to get framed doesn't really sound that much, but it was a pretty penny. So, you know, I went and talked to people, you know, like, collegiate show coming up, it's my first time, and, you know, I got 3 pieces in, that's a big deal, but then I started looking at my pockets, like, I ain't gonna be able to afford this. I just got this golden opportunity, but now what I'm gonna do with it? I ain't got the funds, you know, really even support the opportunity. So, you know, like I said, I went and talked to some people, and, you know, some people worked some things out for me, and like I said, ended up paying off of me, because like I ended up getting 2 awards, and I'm, like I said, the first person in the state to ever get 2 awards in the collegiate show in 1 year. So, you know, that was pretty big, and it really just gave me that extra boost. And I really kind of, I don't want to say I hate it happened to me that fast. You know, it was something that major happened to me that fast on my first time. So it really kind of set a real high standard for me. It set a real high standard for me. The next year I got one piece accepted. I entered 2 pieces, and I got 1 accepted. It didn't win the award though. But, you know, it just really, then that next year just really kind of humbled me. You know, like that first year I was really like, I don't know if I'm good to even get into the competition. And then I ended up getting the 2 awards. So I'm like, man, you know, maybe I'm really better than I thought. The next year I get 1 piece in, didn't win the award. You know, then it kind of humble you a little bit. You know, you really work hard, then you see the award behind it. And then the next year, it's not much of a reward. It's not the same reward, I should say. But then the next year, you gotta really just think about, you know, now I gotta go harder than the past 2 years. You know, it's just really like, I'm just really trying to do stuff that push me to do better the next year and the next summer. You know, every 6 months. Yeah, I was about to say every 6 months, I'm setting, you know, a certain goal that I didn't dream of doing the past 6 months.
True.
You know, I'm trying to do this in the next 6 months. When the past 6 months, that wasn't even really a reality. So, you know, I'm really trying to get on the map and get better and be the best me I can be after going through everything I've been through.
Yeah, and we feel like you well on your way, and that's why we reached
Appreciate
out, because we feel like you're doing something. People need to see this, and we want you to keep going, and don't feel like you got to be defined by your 9 to 5. You know, that type of stuff.
Right, I appreciate that.
You know, there you had it. We with the Goes On with Kia. You heard all you need to hear. He said in 5 years, sky's the limit. So
Look out for me.
Exactly. Goes On out.
Yes, sir.
I just been making some moves. Yeah. I just been making some moves.